Drop them out. That's right. So, Minnesota fighting Vikings, the Greasy, Grimy Green Bay Packers. It is a rivalry unlike any other. And you could say, sure, that the Packers have allegedly won the division a couple times in the last couple years. And Aaron Rodgers allegedly is the two-time, again, alleged MVP. Not my MVP, but we want to go through position by position and compare and contrast because I got a gut feeling that the Vikings actually have a more talented rooster than the stupid Packers, even though it is so strange. It is so strange. So the Packers under Rodgers the last couple years, even though given all the MVP platitudes and whatnot, so the fact that they can't get to a Super Bowl and then they punt on Davante Adams, sure. Cool, fantastic. And then all the national media haircuts say that the Packers are even better than last year. The Packers are still a top 5 team. Please, blah, 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 blah. I understand, like the national media, they have to service the lowest common denominator out there. And the Packers do have a national fan base. It's more like a cult. It is what it is, right? But all that stuff, it's like why the national media is always up on the Cowboys. Because even though the Cowboys haven't won anything for a long time, they're just out there, man. But anyways, preamble over. We want to go through position by position, who has the advantage, and then we're going to tally it all up at the end. So first up, at quarterback. Now, this pains me. It does pain me to say, but again, we're going to do this as, we're going to take off the Vikings hat. What hat are we going to put on? All right, we got the Brooklyn Dodgers hat on. We're completely neutral. We are objective. We are a neutral arbitrator in these proceedings, and we're going to go through. So, that one hurts. That one hurts. I hate it. I hate everything. I hate everyone, and we'll go from there. Actually, I want to let's do a little color contrast. There we go. Stupid Packers and their stupid faces. So don't even need to talk about it. No. Too sensitive right now. No. All right, next up, running back, Dalvin Cook versus Aaron Jones. Now, Aaron Jones got paid, but Dalvin, even though you can reliably say that Dalvin will miss a game or two throughout the season, he's still that guy. So advantage Vikings. So right now it is 1-1. Then fullback. Yes, the Vikings are one of the few teams in the league that still have a fullback, but don't matter. Long hair, don't care. Vikings by 1 million. Next up, wide receivers. So Sammy Watkins versus Justin Jefferson. Really? Oh, really? That's your big one. Like, you got rid of Davante Adams. Like, hey, Sammy Watkins was the former number 4 overall pick. He's got to be good, right? There you go. Adam Thielen versus Alan Lazard. Please. Child, please. So there you go. So it's 4-1 Vikings. KJ Osborne versus Randall Cobb. Now, you could put in Romeo Dubes or Watson in this spot. Sure, I wouldn't be mad at you, but I'll still take KJ all day over any one they're going to put in there. The corpse of Randall Cobb or the 2 rookies. Doesn't matter. Really doesn't. Now, next up, at tight end. Irv is good in terms of what his potential can be. Robert Tonyan, respect, has done pretty solid. The pride of Indiana State. So, again, we're being objective on this one because we want the real results, because otherwise I would just put Vikings for every position, the Vikings by 1 million. So Packers get one. Vikings still leading 5-2. At left tackle, Christian Darrisaw, I think, has potential to be a Pro Bowl left tackle. David Bakhtiari is that guy, even though his ACL recovery, mighty slow. I don't even know if he'll be 100% start this season. So advantage Green Bay. Left guard. You got Ezra Cleveland, who's ascending, moving inside and learning the position. John Runyon, not so much. All right, so the Vikings are up 6-3 by our count. Really good accounting. Garrett Bradford versus Josh Myers. Now, this is a bit of a toss-up. So Josh Myers is untested, and also when he was tested, not very good. But Bradbury just sort of is what it is at this point. Can we just abstain on this one? I mean, it's possible. Nah, I'm going to go with the Grim Reacher. There you go. Just slightly. Next up, Chris Reed versus Royce Newman. This one is not even close. Yeesh. Give me Mankato State University all damn day long. Then you got Brian O'Neill versus Elton Jenkins. This is a tough one. Because Elton Jenkins is a bad mother. I'm just talking about Elton. Sorry, I loved him coming out of Mississippi State. I think that he was better inside, but I understand why they kicked him out to tackle out of necessity. Now, he is coming back from an ACL, but also Brian O'Neill is one of the best right tackles in the National Football League. So this is just a bad beat for Elton Jenkins. If he was in at one of the interior offensive line spots, he'd win by a mile, but sort of is what it is. So offensively, we got the Vikings winning 9 spots, Green Bay leading by 3. Or scoring 3 is what it is. Defensively, so we got Diesel Dalvin Tomlinson versus Dean Lowry. Not Mike Lowry, Dean Lowry. So the Pride Northwestern, even though I respect him, it's Diesel Dalvin, and it's not close. All right, so I'm doing calculations off to the side. Calculations and tessellations, because that's how we roll. All right, so Vikings lead 1-0 in that spot. Next up, Harrison Phillips versus Kenny Clark. Now, I'm fully on board in saying that Kenny Clark is just a bad dude. The pride of UCLA gets after it, even though I got a lot of love for Harrison Phillips. Kenny Clark is just that guy. It's sort of like the reverse of the O'Neal versus Elton Jenkins situation. Next up, Armand for Watts versus rookie Devontae Wyatt coming in on a Georgia SEC battle, Arkansas versus Georgia. Even though I love Armand for Watts, Devontae Wyatt he's just a dude, man. So again, we're being as objective as possible on this. Next up, edge rusher. So Za'Darius versus Rashawn Gary, former teammates going after. Now Rashawn Gary is ascending, and Za'Darius does have some question marks about his health. So like we said, we're being as objective as possible on this. So I'm actually going to go with Rashawn Gary on this one. Kind of crazy. Packers leading 3-1 on the back 9, so to say. Next up, Danielle Hunter versus Preston Smith. Not even close. Like Preston Smith, respect. Liked him at Washington. He's been whatever with the Packers, so yeah, sure. But Danielle, even though he's coming off of injuries, don't care. Then the third edge rusher, we got DJ Wonnum versus Kingsley and Igbare. Not close. There you go. All right, so 3-3, tying it up. And then, getting after it. Eric Kendricks versus Devondre Campbell. So, I mean, Devondre Campbell was an all-pro last year. Basically came out of nowhere because he had signed a 1-year deal with the Packers. Now, was he a bit of a 1-year wonder? Sure, Eric Kendricks is still the best coverage linebacker in the National Football League. So even though this is a close, edge goes to Eric Kendricks. OBV. Next up. You got Jordan Hicks versus another Georgia rookie, Quay Walker, coming on in. Fantastic off-ball linebacker for the Bulldogs. So, given Hicks's age, I'm going to give the advantage to the young gun, so it's 4-4 now. And then you get into the secondary. So, Patrick Peterson versus Jair Alexander. I have no issue saying that Jair Alexander is one of my favorite cornerbacks in the league. I love them. He's feisty. He does remind me of a bit of Antoine Winfield Jr., Senior, one of the two. Actually, a combination between the two. But Jared gets after it. So advantage Green Bay there. They're up 5-4. And then got Cameron Tiny Dantzler versus Eric Stokes. Now, Dantzler was a bad dude towards end of last season. Eric Stokes is young and up and coming. He's got great speed. Another former Georgia Bulldog. But I'm going to go slight advantage to Cameron Dantzler in this spot. So 5-5. So third cornerback wise, this is going to be close because Rasul Douglas is sort of like Devondre Campbell, where had a season out of nowhere and then got paid. But Andrew Booth Jr., if and when he stays healthy, he can be that dude. It's pretty damn close, but I'll give the slight edge to Rasul in this spot. So Packers leading 6-5. And then, so we just listed 3 safeties because the Vikings going to have 3 safety looks. Harrison Smith versus Darnell Savage. Darnell Savage, we have to thank for a number of Vikings wins over the last couple years, whatever. Lewisine versus Adrian Amos, the veteran. I'm going to go with the young guy, as well as Cameron Bynum versus Vernon Scott. That one's pretty easy. So the Vikings clean sweep in the safety spots. And then specialists, Mason Crosby will give the edge there, even though he's old AF. Pat O'Donnell, respect there. And then Andrew DePaul. I have no insight on long snappers, so I'll just give it to the Vikings because why not? All right, so final tally. Vikings win 18-11 in terms of all these positional matchups. And like we said, it just sort of is what it is. We'll give Aaron Rodgers, again, this makes me vomit in my mouth a little. We need some denting. I guess we'll give him the slight edge over Kirk Cousins. So whatever. But then you see that the Vikings just absolutely like smoke They smoke the Packers like some salmon over some campfire, man. Dalvin, CJ, Jefferson, Thielen, KJ, just a dynasty across there. And then, I mean, the Packers' vaunted offensive line, they only have one advantage, and that's Bakhtiari versus Christian Darrisaw. In a couple seasons, that gap is going to be narrowed, or Darrisaw may even be better than the Pride of Colorado. But the rest of the offensive line, everything's coming up Vikings. Even though the Packers, like I said, they got the best offensive line in the league. Please. I mean, that interior is soft and marshmallowy. You like the edges, but it's like if M&M's came out with a marshmallow version. That's what it is. You got a hard outside shell, and then you got inside just nougaty, just marshmallowy, pillowy, soft. Man, the Vikings offensive line has the potential to be great. And this should be a confidence booster, because I would take Ezra over Runyon. I would take Bradbury over Myers. I would take Chris Reed over Royce Newman. Defensively, that's where it gets a bit of a toss-up, because, I mean, everyone's hailing this Packers defense as the best in the National Football League, but if you go through position by position, and it's easy to do since the team plays a similar scheme, you're just like, well, of course, Kenny Clark and Wyatt and Gary and Quay and Jara and Razul. Sure. But the Vikings check as many boxes on the back end, because the Vikings actually check more boxes. They won 8-6 in terms of these comparisons on defense. So, yum time. Yum time, baby. And specialists, whatever. But, hey, this should make you feel good about the defense. Make me feel good. And the offense, of course, we know is going to be good. Top 5 offense, top 5 defense. Special teams doesn't kick us in the nuts. That's right, man. So, again, all of the steam, all the hot air from the national media jabroni haircuts just trying to fluff up the Packers. Vikings are going to be in there like with the needle. Psst, pun intended with Cameron Dantzler. Psst, psst. Packers winning the NFC North, please. Rest in piss. You won't be missed. Get out of here. Deuces, man. But that's it. That's a walkthrough comparison. Who has the better rooster, Vikings or the Packers? Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Support the work. Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.